I sort of set the objects up here on this stool, looked at them for a period of time, about a half an hour, then put the objects away and then worked out the underlying drawing from memory, because what I find is that memory is a good way of distilling forms. If I just painted them direct from those objects, I'd be looking at every little fold and every little blemish, and you'd end up just with a photograph which is pointless. So once the objects are put away, I work sort of from memory, draw the thing in, and what I'm doing at present is just sort of blocking in, not really an undercoat, but an underlying sort of colour scheme which will eventually be glazed over, and then I'll work into that. So the actual construction of a picture is a whole series of layers. You wait for it to be touch dry, glaze it, which is putting a film of tone over the whole thing, which will then lock it all in together, and then I can then start picking out the form, reconstructing some of the shapes if I feel that, like that lemon, if it wants to be brought further down there, well, I'll bring it further down. If I want to sort of get a line and sort of pick it up somewhere else in the picture, so you get it's almost like a visual trick, which creates tension within the centre of the picture. Well, at this stage, you know, it's quite impasto, the colour. You know, it's quite a thick layer, but as the picture sort of starts to build up, these sort of colours are put on in a much thinner, transparent form, so that if I want to cool an area, I'll put say over a mushroom colour. If I put a blue glaze over that, which cools that colour down, it pushes it back. As I say, each layer really becomes thinner and thinner and thinner, which gives a slight sort of translucent quality. Something will spark off a particular subject, and I'll start, and that subject may last as a series of pictures for a period of a few weeks, or it may last months, or in some cases over a year. But it reaches a stage where you feel that you've said what you want to say. You can't actually add anything else. You know, I don't invite people to look at a picture at this stage. You know, it's like an architect who's just done his foundations, and that's what this is. It is a foundation. I think that's it as far as this goes. And as I said, unless there is some drawing I can do, because I'm not quite happy with this pepper. It could do with dropping. I think if that's it, spot on. What I'm doing with the picture at present is getting linkages. These sort of almost transparent images where a shadow goes through an object, or a line links up with another line in the picture, is all to give sort of life to the image. If it's just painted as you see it, it becomes incredibly flat and still. It becomes far more dynamic when you've got linkages. And sometimes if I get say a strong horizontal going through a picture, I don't purposely do a direct link. You have the horizontal going through here and it comes through there, which where those miss each other, that becomes sort of a very, very strong focal point, which again gives tension within the picture.
Is that something you have to train yourself with, knowing when to finish? Knowing when it is finished, or when...
It's the most difficult thing of all. Knowing when to stop. It's very difficult to actually put that into words. You don't know until it just feels, you know, stop. What sometimes does happen is I sort of reach a point like this, and then I'm not happy about the positioning of a particular form within the picture, and I may end up sort of scraping that off completely and realigning it somewhere else in the picture. As you get light coming in from a window and you get artificial light, you sometimes get a secondary shadow. Now I've put in this very strong shadow coming from these objects, but what might be an idea would be to actually do a secondary shadow in a much sort of paler form. In fact, it's not a bad idea. Well, our secondary shadow is tons better, I think. It's sort of